Take a look at my rain gauge. Use this bucket. Wow, that is a lot of rain in just one day. What was that, a couple inches? The problem is it flooded this place big time. Whew. You know what I'll be doing tonight is emptying out all these puddles. Wow. There's the bottle baby. That baby's pretty funny. Ooh. That baby's pretty funny. Check out these ducks. They're like, do we want the grain? Or do we want to go out? These crazy ducks. They just want to get out and eat some grass. I thought it was interesting that my males have really completely... So the males have the black heads, and they have completely changed colors. They used to be like a solid brown, and now they have a lot of white in them, which is really interesting. So, so I don't know if you caught my inside joke on the last video. So at the very end, I kind of threw out. I said, "Yeah, my name's Uncle Chewy." Well, that was kind of a inside joke. So I actually have some kids that are all grown up and they're not really kids anymore, but that was kind of my nickname in certain circles. And look at this gate here. And so anyway, I'm going to feed this little baby calf over here through this whole maze of big old cows here. Big old bulls, little calves, and over here with this little baby. My little baby snowflake. He's my little bottle calf. And I'm going to give him a bottle. So I thought today, for today's video, I thought Uncle Chewy could tell you all about how to make money with ducks. And not just a little bit of money. You can make a lot of money with ducks, believe it or not. So I actually, look at this guy. He's so friendly. Yeah, so friendly. So I actually started with chickens. And it was one of my first animals, and I started selling the eggs for, you try to compete with the supermarkets, and you're selling them for like $1 a dozen, and there's no way you can compete with the supermarkets. I mean, at $1 a dozen, you're losing money. I guarantee it. The only way you can come out ahead is if you had like 10,000 chickens, and you have to raise like leghorns that are really small chicken, and they don't eat very much. And then if you really monitor your food intake, you could barely skim out a profit. And then if you had like 10,000 chickens, you could probably do pretty good. But I'm not really into big chicken houses. So then what I did is I started hatching chickens in an incubator, and that was pretty good. So I was hatching almost all the eggs they would lay, and I was thinking I was making a little more than breaking even, but not a whole lot. And then I got into ducks, and it kind of hit me that you can make a lot of money with ducks. And there's different ways you can. Some people, you know, they'll get ducks and they'll sell the eggs, And if you sell the eggs for eating, you could probably get, I'd say you could probably get, you know, most people get like $6 a dozen for duck eggs, which is, you know, a little bit better. I think you can make some money at $6 a dozen. And then I discovered hatching eggs. And hatching eggs is where the money is at, let me tell you. So I actually sell my eggs for $36 a dozen, believe it or not. So when I'm walking around here picking up eggs, it's like I'm picking up, you know, $2 or $3 at a time for every egg. It's pretty incredible. And these guys, when I first started getting into ducks, these guys actually lay all over the place. So they'll lay like one over here, and then back over here I have a little corner. So I have a little handful of eggs, and these are actually Khaki Campbells, and they lay more eggs than any bird on the planet. The only one that really comes close, maybe, is the leghorn chicken, and it's one of the reasons I got them. And it's actually how I promote the eggs too. Oh, I almost need 2 hands for this. Don't want to crack one of these beauties. And hatching eggs, you really have to get them and sell them fast, because the fertility stays up for about 7 days, and after that it really goes down. So I have a little spot back here that they like to lay in. I got all these little spots. I'm looking all over for eggs all the time. They like to lay in these little spots here and there and all over. And then sometimes they like to lay in this little spot right here. And sometimes they lay in here. But a lot of the times, what'll happen, I'm not really a die-hard chicken egg guy or duck egg guy like I was before, but you know, if I was really into it, I'd probably pen them up and keep the birds away. But they like to lay out where I keep all the cow manure out here, and the crows get them. And if you notice, like in the tops of the trees, all the crows will be just hanging out, just watching, waiting for an egg. At first I thought, I was like, you know, these crows, they kind of like watching me. It's kind of like I have an audience, and come to find out, they're actually flying away with all the duck eggs. So, and so I actually just sold some duck eggs yesterday, and you actually box them up and ship them out through the post office, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you how I do that. Okay, no video would be complete without a puppy update. 16 days old. These guys are great. Yeah, 16 days. 16 days of cuteness. Yeah. And they are starting to get into the dry food. I think technically I'm supposed to feed them soft food first. And then we have little growler here. Little growler. Oh, little growler, huh? Yeah. And somewhere we have little whiner somewhere. Little crier. And then we have all the other ones just laying back. So cute. Oh, they're so cute. So I got to keep you guys up to date on those puppies, because, you know, in 5 weeks they'll be sold and gone. So got to keep you up to date. All right, so back to the duck eggs. So what I do from here, I know it's kind of dark in here. It's getting kind of late. But I put them in this little, it's actually a, this is actually a Repta Pro 6000. So it's actually an egg incubator, but it's a really cool unit. You can actually heat and cool, And hatching eggs should be at like 65. And what I do twice a day is I just go through and turn them the opposite way. And you're actually supposed to put them in with a point down. So it's the air pocket is at the top. And basically I just keep them in there until I'm ready to sell them. So I actually have a few ads on eBay. And I'm basically selling hatching eggs in all different quantities. And this time I sold a quantity of 10. So normally what I do, so for hatching eggs, what you really want to do is you want to find your best average size eggs. So for example, these small eggs here, I would not sell these as hatching eggs. And the real big ones, probably not. These are really huge. Can't even close the top. So I would say 9. I would say probably these 10 are the best bet. And then I kind of go through and look if they're really, really dirty. I don't even. These look really clean, but if they're really dirty, I don't use them as hatching eggs. As a matter of fact, I don't even use them for eating. I just kind of throw them away. So these are basically just the raw, dirty eggs. And some people say don't wash the eggs, but I actually wash them. And what I use, I can show you real quick, is I actually use a solution of iodine. So it's like a liquid iodine. And I definitely need to go by the sink. I didn't realize this was leaking or was spilled in there. So let me go up to the sink and I'll continue. Okay, so I'm here at the sink. I put some water in here, and I'd say what I like to do is I'd like to keep it kind of like a lukewarm water. You don't want it too cold and you don't want it too hot, because if it's too cold or too hot, it'll actually suck the water into the egg or push it out of the egg. So you kind of want it about the same temperature of the egg, I guess. And what I do is I use this povidone iodine that I buy from the feed store. And it's kind of like just a general antiseptic. So if you have animals with a cut or with surgery or anything, this is what you put on them. It doesn't sting, it doesn't really hurt them at all, and it really works good for a disinfectant. So basically what I do is I just take one of these green, it's like a Scotch-Brite pad, and I just kind of, you really have to scrub duck eggs, and a duck egg has a really tough shell. And what I do is I give it a really good scrub. And I actually had an incubator once before, and I kind of tested a whole bunch of eggs, scrubbed down with the iodine, and right out of the duck, not scrubbed, and it was almost the exact same hatch rate. There was basically no difference. Then I just give it a quick rinse with water and put it on a towel and continue through the rest of the eggs. Okay, now that you have the clean eggs, what you want to do is candle them. So I use my little flashlight, and let's see if we can see. Might be kind of hard to see on the camera, but I basically look for cracks. I don't know how well you can see that, but the crack is pretty obvious, and you definitely want to candle them. So the eggs are perfectly sterile on the inside until there's a crack. And when there's a crack, it basically breaks that sterile barrier. And basically the egg's not even good for eating once it cracks, unless you're cracking it in the pan to eat. But these all look really good so far. And sometimes there's like a little line, and see if there's a line this way, you can kind of push on it like this, put a little pressure, and sometimes it's just in the egg, as a natural part of the egg. But if it's a crack, you'll actually, when you press on it, you'll actually see it open up a little bit. Wow, this one is really white. That one's interesting. So, yeah. These all look real good. Okay, so here's my setup for shipping. So I actually get these priority mail flat rate boxes. They're actually free, believe it or not. I can go to USPS.com and you can get whole cartons of these. I get like tons and tons of them by the huge boxfuls, and they just send them for free. And we'll tape this one up while I'm working. So basically it's $18 to ship, and you can hold up to 70 pounds. That's actually a little off. Let's see if I can do a better job. All right. So that's basically it for the box. Then what I'd like to do is I use shredded paper. I have a paper shredder in the basement, and fill it about halfway and then put the eggs on top. And I'll show you how I do that. I actually have a special wrap for the eggs, and on eBay it's fantastic. So on eBay you can go and you can purchase the postage, and you get a discount on the postage if you buy it through eBay, and you can print out the postage label. And what I do is I print out care and incubation of hatching eggs, just something I found on the internet. And it tells you all about, you know, the different birds and how many days and what temperature and when to turn them and when not to turn them. And it looks like, I think it's just professional to have, you know, some kind of hatching instructions in there. So if you get someone who's buying the eggs and they don't really know anything, they can kind of use this as a guide, which I think is really nice. And then they also have these stickers that you can put on the box with perishable, fragile, live embryos. And what I do, I actually just found these, and then I just print them out with a printer, and then I cut them out with the scissors, and then just tape them to the box. It's pretty easy. Okay, so the biggest thing that I want to show you is how I wrap these eggs. I've tried so many different ways to ship eggs, and I had a lot of broken eggs, and I found this is the best way. So basically I buy this bubble wrap at like Staples, I think I buy it there. So what I do is I just wrap the egg until it's a little more than a full wrap. Then I'll cut it, and then I'll just flip it in half and cut it the other way. And that's good enough for 2 eggs. And then what I do is I just take the half, if you can see that, and then I'll wrap it, and then I'll just use a little Scotch tape. We can get it off here. And I'll tape it this way, and this way, this way. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in, just right in the box in the shredded paper. Okay, so I finished all the eggs, and what I do is I just kind of bunch them in the middle and try to keep them away from the sides. And now I'll just top it off with some shredded newspaper. Okay, so I have all the packing material in there. Then I put in the hatching instructions. I also put in a packing list. And this guy, actually his total was $31.50 for 10 eggs. Pretty incredible. And at one point, I actually had about 25 ducks, believe it or not. And I was bringing in about 2,000 a month in duck eggs. And I was bringing like 3 of these boxes to the post office every day. And I kind of have this little kind of a tagline that I use on eBay. So I actually sell these instead of Khaki Campbell ducks. I sell them as extreme egg laying ducks. Lays more eggs than any bird. 10 hatching eggs. Which they are. You know, Khaki Campbells are one of the best layers out there. So, and from here what I do is basically just tape it up and then attach all the labels. So for the labels on top, usually what I do is, some of these I save for the side, but I try to kind of stagger them one way and another way and different labels. Let's see. Yeah. Kind of like that. Maybe another one over here. So, I don't know, I just have certain labels for the sides, and then these other labels for the top. And I try to angle them so you can see them from, if you're looking that way or this way. And I just kind of lay them all out, and then, boy, that's loud. And just tape them all on all at once. And then for the sides, I usually put one per side, right there. Alright, so that's it. I have the labels on each side, labels on the top. It's pretty painless. This one's actually going to North Carolina, and believe it or not, the furthest one I've ever shipped was all the way to Hawaii, which is pretty incredible. But you can ship them anywhere for the same price, and the customer always pays for the shipping. So, so you figure, you know, Khaki Campbells, I'd say. They're not really hot like they used to be. So it used to be I would sell every single egg that I would hatch, and I had 24 ducks. It was incredible. And now with a dozen, I'd say I'd sell maybe 20%. Maybe it's enough to pay for the ducks and the duck food, and maybe help pay for some of the cows. But it's not like it was. And you can actually, there's actually. If you go on eBay and look for hatching eggs, you can see all the different ones. I mean, peacock eggs sell for like $50 an egg, but they don't lay a whole lot of eggs. So you kind of have to catch the right bird at the right time. So that's pretty much all I have, and that's how I make money on my ducks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.